Good evening to everyone. I'm grateful to God to gather with you on this, which is going to be our last Bible study for the year 2014. We have the next 2 Tuesdays off due to the holiday and the office schedule, and we will resume the first Tuesday of January, which I believe is the 6th. So if you'd help spread the word, on Tuesday, January 6th, we'll resume our Bible study. Now, when we come in January, I'm preparing to do a 5 to 7 part series on some of the deep doctrines that every Christian ought to be wrestling with. So we're kind of transitioning from our prayers in the Bible to getting into some more doctrinal issues around things like free will and predestination and theodicy. So we're going to go in a little bit deeper, start January, and I pray that you all will be here with us. Also in January, just to let you know, we do our intense Bible study with our scholars. This year we're doing something a little bit different. We're doing race, religion, and politics for our series, but the first Saturday, I believe, is the 10th. The 10th, we're actually doing a private screening of Selma that will then set off our Bible study for those next weeks. So if you all just make note that we are going to see Selma. How many people know about the movie? Okay, so Selma's coming out. We're renting a theater, and we want to take all of our church members there. That'll then generate the discussion, and we're glad to welcome back after either 1 or 2 year hiatus. Michael Dyson is going to do our Bible study in January, so we look forward to an awesome time with him. And also, if you'll mark your calendars, February 5th and the 7th, I believe that's a Thursday and a Saturday, if I have it correct, we have rented out a big section of the Kennedy Center for Alvin Ailey. So we're taking Alfred Street to Alvin Ailey. It's part of our Faith and Fine Art series that I introduced. So we've got, I think, 300 tickets on one day, 300 on the other. One is an evening show, obviously, on Thursday, and then Saturday is a matinee. And we've got an opportunity with our children, so our young dancers are going to the rehearsal for Alvin Ailey on that Saturday morning, get to meet the dancers before the matinee. So that's a real great thing I'm excited about. So a lot of good things happening, a lot of good things about to happen in the upcoming weeks. So we've got a 2-week break. This will be our last Bible study. And things are a little bit different tonight because a bulk of our members are under I'm finding the best way to phrase this, or I want to say this, under the oppressive hand of Joyce Garrett right now, preparing for our Christmas musical. That's our Minister of Music has got everybody hemmed up. They are rehearsing to get ready for you all on Friday and Saturday. And given the dynamics of so many people out and having a smaller crowd tonight, I want to do something a little bit different. To do something a little bit different, a little bit fun, but it requires you all to work with me. All right, got to work this. We're gonna work this together. All right, everybody ready to do something a little different? All right, so I need you to do me a couple things. Okay, a couple things before we get started. I need you to put your phones away. Anything that's smart and has Google on it, put it away. Okay, if it's smart and has Google, put it away. If it's smart and has Google, put it away. Okay, now that's really gonna bother you. And put your Bibles down. Put your Bibles away. We don't need Bibles for Bible study tonight. Okay, Raquel, David said, "That word have I hid where?" Well, we're going to find out if it's in your heart tonight, all right? We're going to find out how much of that word of God is in your heart. So as people coming in, we're going to do this. I'm going to ask you, we're going to count off by 4s, all right? And remember your number. You know where this is headed, right? When you start separating for 4s. So we're going to go this way up and down for 4, and then this way up and down for 4. Okay, Raquel, kick us off.
1.
Sherry? 2, thank you.
1, 2.
There's always 1. 1.
2, 3, 4. 1.
4. 4. 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
She's 4. 1, right? 3, 4, 2. Follow the rules, that though. 2, 4. Okay, you're a 1. Got you? We walk right in. 1, brother. 2, right?
4. 2, 3, 4.
1.
2, 3, 4.
1. Very good. Everybody remember your numbers, right? It's real simple. Let me have 1s down front here, 2s down front here, 3s kind of midway back, 4s kind of midway back. If you're just getting your sections, we'll start up in just a moment. Yeah, you stay here with me because you're deacon. I'm pulling my deacons out.
Okay.
So Bender and Hall, no go. You a ringer. You a ringer.
As soon as I saw y'all,
You like, oh. Come on, Michelle. If you didn't get a number, please come down front. I'll assign you in a minute. If you don't have a number and you're just coming in, so we got 2s, got our 1s, 3s back there. Where are the 3s? Where are the biggest group of 3s? Y'all need to get close together. You're separated. You're 3A and 3B. This group move back a little bit. Karen, take your group back a little bit. 3s. Okay. Bender and Hall, I need you guys out. Deacon Bender, Deacon Hall, I got to pull you guys out. Deacons are ringers. Yeah. No, not all of them. These are new ones.
I'll go on,
Yep.
I'll go on downstairs.
Oh, well, you know, Michelle. Okay. Did you get a number yet? I'm going to put you with the 4s. In the back there, 4s, you have a number? I'm going to put you with the 3s. 4s, raise your hand. You got a new sister coming to join you. 3s, got a new sister. All right. Bibles down, anything smart, tablet, phone, anything. Balcony, you guys want to play? Well, if you do, come on down. If not, you can watch. But if you want to play, come on down. Yes, sir. Yeah, that's about right. And y'all are so strong in the word that the two of you ought to just balance that whole team out. Praise be to God. If you don't have a number yet, I'm going to put you with the 3s. Okay. 4, I'm going to put you with a 4. You with a 4. Sister in the pink, let me put you with the 1s. Yep. Come here. Do me a favor. You got to do 2 things real quick. Number 1, introduce yourselves. Make sure you kind of know. I know it's a larger group than small. And you need to pick a biblical name. So your team has to have a name, a team name. Gideon, Joshua, Walls of Jericho, whatever name you want. So introduce yourselves, get a team name, and choose a team captain. All right? 3 things. Introduce, team name, team captain. You got 5 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. You know, we study the Bible, we read it all the time. Every now and then, you just ought to have a pop quiz, right? You ought to have a final. Ought to test your Bible knowledge. When you read your Bible, you're a better Christian. There's just some things about the Word of God you ought to know. And so we like to end our Bible studies in the fall, and then the winter and in the spring with Bible trivia. I've taken time to labor to put together a lot of good questions to test how much of the Word of God you really know. The questions vary from 1, 2, and 3 points. 1-point questions, obviously a little bit simpler. 3-point are meant to be difficult. Okay? The way it works, we'll start with a couple rounds where we're going around. Your team gets to choose the point value. We want a 1-point question. We want a 3-point question. We want a 2-point question. However many points you want, I'll give you the question. You have 30 seconds to answer it. If you answer correctly, you get the points. If you do not answer correctly, the question remains on the table and we move to the next group. The next group does not get to pick that same question, right? Now, a couple rules. If team 1 chooses a 1-point question and they're deliberating, and someone from team 4 shoots out an answer, if the answer is correct, I'm giving them the points. Okay? So it's to your advantage not to shout out loud. Okay? That's the way we go for a couple rounds where we're amassing points. Okay? When we get to the bonus round, the rules change. In the bonus round, you get to choose a point value. Once you hear the question, you can either choose to answer it or pass it. So you guys choose a 3-point. You don't like it. It's too tough. You're going to pass it to team 4 because they're in the lead. Team 4, you have to answer the question. You can't pass. If you get it right, you get the points. If you get it wrong, those points are taken away from you. So it's a way of reducing the lead for the leaders, right? So you choose in the bonus round. Any confusion, any questions? Anybody want some clarity? Okay. Remember, and just so you know, the first answer I hear from a group is the one I take, right? So if someone in your group shouts out Paul and it was Peter, then I'm going to take Paul as the answer, which is why you have a captain. You may want your captain to be the one who speaks on behalf of the team. Okay? Any questions? Yes, Sister Ethel. I'm sorry? Your group does what your group wants to do. Okay? I'm not into micromanaging. Okay. My brother and my sister, I'll put you all on team 3. Grab them when they come. Those two that come in, put them on team 3. Team 1, what is your team name? What's your team name? Genesis. I'm going to put the names up and then you'll help me keep score. Team 2, what's your name? That's right, Trinity, all right? Team 3, what's your team name? Ruth. Team 4, what's your team name? Miriam. All right. Deacon Russell Easter will help me keep score. Deacon Jim Bender, Deacon Al Hall will help with all conflict resolutions and disputes around points. And we are off and running. We're going to start with team 1. 1, 2, or 3-point question. 2. Oh, yeah. If you, well, no, I'll do the third. Yeah, my watch, I need the 30-second. All right. So team 1 is chosen a 2-point question. Is that correct? For 2 points, who was Jochebed's son? You've got 30 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, while they're deliberating, you as a team may want to think about it because at the end we come back and ask the questions that were answered incorrectly. Cannot use your Bible. You cannot use a smart device. Okay. No smart device, no Bible. All you use is your memory and your heart. 8 seconds. 4. Okay. Hold on. Who's the answer? Moses is correct for 2 points. Genesis. Do tally marks. It's always easier. Tally marks. Okay. Team 2, Trinity. 1, 2, or 3 points? 2 points. For 2 points, which kingdom of Israel was destroyed first, the north or the south? You have 30 seconds. Which kingdom of Israel was destroyed first, the north or the south? You think it was the north? You're correct. 2 points for Trinity. 2 points for Trinity. Okay. Ruth, 1, 2, or 3? 2 for 2 points. 2 points, 1 point each. Name the 2 people in the Bible who escaped death. 2 people in the Bible who escaped death. You have 30 seconds. My sister's coming in. We're going to put you on team 4. Right here with the green. This group right here, they're going to claim you. 2 men in the Bible who escaped death. And we need an answer, Ruth. Lot and Lazarus, both incorrect. No. Certainly. Certainly. You want clarification? No, not yet. We're coming back. You want clarification? But Lot eventually died. Escaped death, meaning did not die. Okay. Nope. Miriam, 1, 2, or 3? Two. For 2 points. Which one of Joseph's brothers prevented him from being killed? Which one of Joseph's brothers prevented him from being killed? You have 30 seconds. Fifteen seconds. You're going to go with Reuben. It's correct. That's 2. Genesis, 1, 2, or 3? 2. 2 points. The 10 Commandments can be found in which chapter of the Bible? The 10 Commandments can be found in which chapter of the Bible? You have 30 seconds. Exodus is a book. You can continue. I need book and chapter. The 10 Commandments can be found in which chapter of the Bible? Exodus chapter 20 is correct for 2 points. That is Genesis. Trinity, 1, 2, or 3? That's what I'm talking about. For 3 points, list the 3 temptations of Jesus in the wilderness. List the 3 temptations of Jesus in the wilderness. You have 30 seconds. Okay. That's what. Correct for all 3. That's 3 points for Trinity. Yep. Ruth. 1, 2, or 3? 3. In what city was the term Christian first used? In what city was the term Christian first used? You have 30 seconds. You gonna go with where? Corinth is incorrect. I'm sorry. Yep, that was Ruth. Miriam, 1, 2, or 3? No. 2. Slow and steady wins the race. For 2 points. When the children of Israel refused to enter the promised land, they said that in comparison to the inhabitants, they were only what? When the children of Israel refused to enter the promised land, they said that in comparison to the inhabitants, they were what? You have 30 seconds. Grasshoppers is correct for 2 points. Genesis, 1, 2, or 3? 2 points. When Paul was bitten by a snake, what did he do to find relief? When Paul was bitten by a snake, what did he do to find relief? He shook it off. Incorrect. It's not completely correct. I apologize. Yep. Trinity, 1, 2, or 3. She said he shook it off, which is not a completely correct answer. You had to go with the first answer. Trinity, 1, 2, or 3? 2. For 2 points. From which tribe of Israel did Paul come? From which tribe of Israel did Paul come? You have 30 seconds. Benjamin is correct. 2 points. Trinity for 2. Trinity for 2. Ruth. Let's cheer on Ruth, everybody, for 2 points. Which gospel gives us the account of the shepherds? I get to double check a question that I just gave them that I think is incorrect.
20.
I'm sorry?
15.
Luke, Gospel Luke is correct. Ruth for 2. Go, Ruth. Miriam, 2. Slow and steady wins the race. Which book of the Bible refers to strangers being angels in disguise? Which book of the Bible refers to strangers being angels in disguise? You have 30 seconds. I double-checked it. I was right. It was
15. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, Hebrews 1.
the book of Hebrews?
Yeah.
Correct. Miriam for 2. All right. Going into round 3, Genesis, 1, 2, or 3? 2. 2 points. Which queen preceded Esther? Which queen preceded Esther? Vashti is correct. That's Genesis for 2. Yep. Trinity, 1, 2, or 3? 3. 3 points. Who buried the body of Jesus? For 3 points, who buried the body of Jesus? Joseph is partially correct. It's not complete. Nope, incorrect. Thank you. Ruth. You're going to go with the 2-pointer? For 2 points. Solomon was the son of what father and what mother? David and Bathsheba is correct for 2 points. Miriam, let me guess, 2. 3. From which book of the Bible was the Ethiopian eunuch reading when he met Philip? From which book of the Bible was the Ethiopian eunuch reading when he met Philip? It's supposed to be a group effort. Isaiah is correct. Miriam for 3. So at the end of 3, we've got Genesis. Ruth is at 4, Genesis at 6, Trinity at 7, and Miriam at 8. Is there 9? Miriam's at 9. Okay, all right. And we go again. Genesis, 3 points. For 3 points. There's a question? I'm sure you do. For 3 points, just so you know, there are some questions that you'll hear me say 1 point each. Some questions you have to give a complete answer. If the answer is incomplete, I have to take it as such. Following question for 3 points. Name 3 judges in Israel for 1 point each. Name 3 judges in Israel for 1 point each. But we're going to put you all the way up here in team 1. Somebody point him up here. We'll put you in team 1. Okay, let me hear it. They're giving answers. May I hear it? Samson is 1. Barak was not a judge. You have one more shot, though. You've only given 2 answers. All I heard was Samson and Barak. I didn't hear anything else. Gideon is 2. But you said Barak. You get 2 out of 3. 2 points. That's Genesis. And for the answer, Deborah was a judge. Mm-hmm. Trinity, 1, 2, or 3? 2. Trinity for 2 points. How were Abram and Lot related? How were Abram and Lot related? You have 30 seconds. There's a whole lot of folk in the back, just not y'all. You just trust them to be right? Abraham was his uncle, correct. That is Trinity for 2. Trinity for 2. Ruth, 1, 2, or 3? 2. 2 points, 1 point each. Who appeared to Jesus on the Mount of Transfiguration? Who appeared to Jesus on the Mount of Transfiguration? Moses and Elijah are correct. 2 points, Ruth. Miriam. 2. What parable does Jesus tell at the end of the Sermon on the Mount? What parable does Jesus tell at the end of the Sermon on the Mount? You have 30 seconds. That's correct. That's Miriam for 2. When time is out, an answer has to be given. If you want to say it beforehand, it's fine. But when he counts down to 0, I need an answer to be given. Okay? It's getting rough around here. Genesis 1, 2, or 3? 3. Three points. Which false god was continuously beheaded by the presence of the Ark of the Covenant? Which false god was continuously beheaded by the presence of the Ark of the Covenant? You have 30 seconds. Dagon is correct for 3 points to Genesis. He needs to 3 points for Genesis. 3. Trinity, 1, 2, or 3? 3. For 3 points. Scholars believe that this is the first gospel to be written. Scholars believe that this is the first gospel to be written. John is incorrect. Okay. Ruth, 1, 2, or 3? Gonna go with 3. For 3 points, what does the name Ichabod mean? What does the name Ichabod mean? You have 30 seconds. I'm sorry? Disappointment? No, that's incorrect. Miriam? 2. Which king was granted a 15-year extension on his life? Which king was granted a 15-year extension on his life? You have 30 seconds. Hezekiah is correct for 2 points for Miriam. One more round before bonus. What is our score? Genesis at 10. Genesis at 11. Trinity at 9. Ruth at 6. Miriam at 13. Yep. Genesis chosen 3 points. For 3 points, who requested the head of John the Baptist? Who requested the head of John the Baptist? You have 30 seconds. You can't play pain. No help from deacons. No, incorrect. Yep. Trinity, 1, 2, or 3? 2. For 2 points. From what island did John write the book of Revelation? Be careful of shouting out answers. Patmos is correct for 2 points to Trinity. Ruth. 2. 2 points for Ruth. What animal did God use to feed Elijah in the wilderness? What animal did God use to feed Elijah in the wilderness? You have 30 seconds. A raven is correct for 2 points for Ruth. Yes. Yes. No, we'll go through the answers, the ones that were missed before we leave. Miriam. 2. John the Baptist was the son of this father and this mother. John the Baptist was the son of this mother and this father. You have 30 seconds. Elizabeth and Zacharias is correct for 2 points. That's Miriam for 2. Deacon Easter, give us our scores. We're about to go into the bonus round.
Miriam has 15, Trinity has 11, Genesis has 11, and Ruth has 8.
So Miriam is in at 15. Ruth is in at 8. Genesis, that's 11. And Trinity is 11. We begin the bonus round. The bonus round, you get to choose a question. Upon hearing it, you either answer it for the points or pass it to another team. The team that receives the pass has to answer the question. If they get it correct, they get the points. If they get it incorrect, those points are taken off, and then the round continues. So if Genesis passes to Trinity, and whatever happens, then Trinity's still up next because it's number 2. All right? Everyone understand? You still get 30 seconds. Okay. We actually start in reverse in this one. So Miriam, because we're going in reverse order, you're up first. 1, 2, or 3 points for the bonus round? 2. For 1 point each, which 2 men, let me rephrase it. Satan was given permission to afflict 2 men in the Bible. Name them each. Satan was given permission to afflict 2 men in the Bible. Name them each. Satan was given permission to afflict 2 men in the Bible. Name them each.
10 seconds. 5 seconds. We're going to go with Job for 1 sure point.
Job is correct for 1. Genesis, you've been passed. You have to answer. You either get a point or lose it. Satan was given permission to afflict 2 men in the Bible. Who are they? Job was 1. There's another, and you have 30 seconds. You either gain a point or you lose it. Miriam gets 1. Peter is correct for a point. Miriam, did you hear that? Miriam, you heard the answer. Yes. Peter. And we wouldn't have gotten it. All right. Smart play. Ruth, 1, 2, or 3, bonus round. 2. 2 point. Who was Moses' father-in-law? Who was Moses' father-in-law? You have 30 seconds. Jethro is correct for 2 points. Trinity, 1, 2, or 3? 2. For 2 points, what was the cause of the division between Abraham and Lot? What was the cause of the division between Abraham and Lot? You have 30 seconds. Correct for 2 points. For Trinity. Trinity. Genesis, 1, 2, or 3? 3. 3 point. No, I'm not going to do that one. For 3 points. 1 point each. Name the men in the Bible who were said to walk with God. Name the 3 men in the Bible who were said to walk with God. 1 point each. Time. Genesis, either answer or pass. Enoch is correct for 1. Elijah is incorrect for 2. Do you have a third guess? Who are you passing to? Miriam, you have to name one person in the Bible who was said to walk. Oh. Name one person in the Bible who was said to walk with God. You have 30 seconds. And I use that term specifically, walk with God. Their first answer was Enoch. Their second answer was incorrect. Time. Abraham is incorrect. You lose a point. So Miriam loses 1. This one, it starts to get a little ugly right around here. Okay. Here we go again. Bonus round. Miriam, 1, 2, or 3? 3. Three points. What critical mistake did King Saul make in Endor? What critical mistake did King Saul make in Endor? You have 30 seconds. Time. Then I must have an answer. Unfortunately, that is not a completely correct answer. Miriam loses 3. Yeah, I'd count it up. There you go. Ruth, 1, 2, or 3? Ruth. 2? I'm going backwards. Who has a laptop? 2 points. 2 points for Ruth. When Timothy is preparing to visit Paul in jail, whom does Paul ask him to bring? When Timothy is preparing to visit Paul in jail, whom does Paul ask him to bring? You have 30 seconds. Ruth, we need an answer or pass. Say again? That is incorrect. You lose 2 points. Trinity, 1, 2, or 3? 2. Who accompanied Moses to Mount Sinai to receive the 10 Commandments? Who accompanied Moses to Mount Sinai to receive the 10 Commandments? You have 30 seconds. Joshua's correct for 2 points. Genesis, 1, 2, or 3? 3. No, I'm back to Genesis. We're going in reverse order. I just left from Trinity. Now it's Genesis, and you all be next. Genesis, for 3 points, 1 point each. Which 3 tribes of Israel received their inheritance of land before the Israelites crossed Jericho? Which 3 tribes of Israel received their inheritance of land before the Israelites crossed Jericho? Excuse me, before the fall of Jericho. You have 30 seconds. Half the tribe of Manasseh is correct. Do you have? You're passing the next 2 to which group? Half the tribe of Manasseh. Which 3 tribes of Israel received their inheritance of land before the fall of Jericho? You have to name 2. Nope. Time. Trinity, I need an answer. You're going to lose 2 points. Excuse me? Reuben is 1. Ephraim is incorrect, so you lose nothing. You gained 1, you lost 1. You stay even. Now, for the last one, it's all 3-point questions at my discretion. You either answer or pass. Miriam, Miriam, are you ready? Yes. Miriam, in the book of Revelation, there are 4 sets of 7 things. Name 3 of them. In the book of Revelation, there are 4 sets of 7 things. Name 3 of them. You have 30 seconds. In the book of Revelation, there are 4 sets of 7 things. Name 3 of them. Time. Miriam, I need an answer. Horses is incorrect. Seals and trumpets is correct, so you gain 1 point. Miriam for 1. Ruth. Which tribe of Israel did not receive an inheritance of land? Which tribe of Israel did not receive an inheritance of land? Levi is correct for 3 points for Ruth. Trinity for 3 points. Which tribes are actually named after Jacob's grandchildren? Which tribes are actually named after Jacob's grandchildren? You have 30 seconds. Manasseh and Ephraim is correct for 2 points. For 3 points. Three for Trinity. Genesis, you ready? The Jews recognize and celebrate 6 annual feasts. Name 3 of them. The Jews recognize 6 annual feasts. Name 3 of them. Purim is correct for 1. Passover is correct for 2. Feast of the Tabernacle is correct for 3. Last bonus round. Last round. What's our standing? Just so we get it. Genesis is in at 17.
18,
Oh boy.
13, 11.
So we have a 1-point fight between Genesis and Trinity at this point. We have a friendly competition. Miriam, are you ready? 3 points. For 1 point each, name the miracles and signs that were performed during and immediately after the death of Jesus. Name the miracles and divine signs that were performed during and immediately after the death of Jesus. You should know this one. Time. Miriam?
I don't know if some of these are the same, but the hail and darkness, ripping of the veil, and earthquake.
The solar eclipse, the earthquake, and the tearing of the veil of the temple are correct for 3 points. For 16, Miriam.
Just like you say, for the 2 top teams, don't mess up.
Okay. Ruth. Ruth for 3 points. Who did God use to save Jeremiah from dying in the pit? Who did God use to save Jeremiah from dying in the pit? Trinity and Genesis, I would be thinking about this if I were you. Mm-hmm. Who are you passing to? Trinity. You have 30 seconds. Who did God use to save Jeremiah from dying in the pit? Who did God use to save Jeremiah from dying in the pit? You have 30 seconds. The game is on the line. Oh, okay. Oh, it's coming in now? We about to be done?
10 seconds.
Only got 2 more questions.
5 seconds. Time.
King of Babylon is incorrect. You lose 3 points. Trinity. Trinity, it's actually your question again. 3 points. For 3 points. What nation was the only one to defeat Joshua in the conquest of Canaan? What nation was the only one to defeat Joshua in the conquest of Canaan? You have 30 seconds. And for Awana mamas, I'm going to text them and tell them to hold the kids for 5 extra minutes.
10 seconds.
AI is correct for 3 points. Trinity for 3.
How can I get that back up?
So where are we standing now? What's our standing? Trinity is
Trinity, what's that? 17 here for Genesis, 11 there for Ruth, 16 for Miriam.
Trinity has a 1-point lead on Genesis for the final question. Genesis, are you ready? For 3 points, 1 point each. Name the leaders of the opposition to Nehemiah's work to rebuild the wall. Name the leaders of the opposition to Nehemiah's work to rebuild the wall. You have 30 seconds to answer or pass. They were smart, they would pass to Ruth, because then they win no matter what. Nobody can tell them that. Right? Yes. They have an answer. Sanballat's correct for 1 point. Smart move. Smart move. Ruth, you've been past the last 2. Name the 3 leaders to the opposition to Nehemiah's, of the leaders of the opposition of Nehemiah's work to rebuild the wall. Sanballat was 1, which is already correct. You have 2 to answer or lose 2 points. Y'all are shrewd. Y'all are shrewd. I said, pass it back there. Pass it. Good. Okay, are we ready? Oh, I'm sorry. Tobias correct for 1. A-bomb is incorrect, so you lose nothing. All right. Will you help me congratulate, who's our winner?
We're tied. Genesis and Trinity.
Oh, you're kidding me. All right, you want answers for missed questions? All right. You can shout, huh? You can, all right, we'll get there. You can shout them out if you get them. Which 2 men escaped death, never died? Enoch and Elijah. What did Paul do when he was bitten by a snake to survive? Put his hand in the fire and shook it off. You guys say he just shook it off. Put his hand in the fire. We got Job and Peter. When Timothy was preparing to visit Paul in jail, whom does Paul ask him to bring? John Mark. Yep, John Mark. Okay. 3-point questions that were missed. Who actually buried the body of Jesus? Joseph and Nicodemus. Who requested the head of John the Baptist? Herod's stepdaughter. She didn't have a name. Yeah. Scholars believe this was the first gospel to be written. Mark. In what city was the term Christian first used? Antioch. How many people were said, who are the people said to walk with God? Enoch was given, Noah, and Levi. What does the name Ichabod mean? The glory of the Lord has departed. The leaders to the opposition, Sanballat, Tobiah, and Gershom. Who did God use to save Jeremiah from dying in the pit? Ebed-Melech. The annual feast of the Jews, Passover, Tabernacle, and Purim were lifted up. Trumpets, Pentecost, and dedication are the other three. What tribes of Israel received their inheritance before the fall? Oh, you got it already. Reuben, Gad, and half the tribe of Manasseh. In the book of Revelation, there are 4 sets of 7 things: seals, trumpets, bowls, and cities. And what critical mistake did King Saul make in Endor? Nope. He asked the rich to raise Samuel from the dead. Thank you all.